this is the synthesis of Fragrant Esters Lab Part 1. First off, we've already prepared our data table and we've marked our test tubes 1, 2, and 3. First off, we are going to place 4 drops of acetic acid into each test tube. Next, we are going to place 5 drops of methanol into test tube 1. Then we place 5 drops of ethanol into test tube 2. And then we're going to place 5 drops of isomyl alcohol into test tube 3. Then we're going to add 2 drops of sulfuric acid to each test tube. Finally, we're going to gently swirl and agitate each test tube to mix the acids and alcohols.
That was cool.
Then we've already set up our burner and our fuel with hot water. So we're going to place the 3 test tubes into the beaker of hot water and let them stand in hot water for 5 minutes. So now I have let the test tubes sit in hot water for 5 minutes. So we are going to carefully take them out of the hot water bath and place them in the test tube rack. Next, we're going to add 20 drops of water into each test tube. Okay. Now we're going to try to detect the odor of the products in each test tube. And then we're going to record the scents. Now we are going to do part 2 of the synthesis of Fragrant Esters Lab. Alright, so we've already labeled test tubes 4, 5, 6, and 7. I broke one of my test tubes, so we're going to make do with this bigger test tube. We've already placed them in a rack, and we are going to do the rest of the steps. So first we need to place 4 drops of butyric acid into test tubes 4, 5, and 6. Next, we're placing 5 drops of methanol into test tube number 4. Then we're going to place 5 drops of ethanol into test tube number 5. Now we're going to place 5 drops of isomyl alcohol into test tube number 6. Now we're going to add 2 drops of sulfuric acid to each test tube. Then we're going to gently agitate each test tube to mix the acids and alcohols. And now we are going to weigh out 0.2 grams of salicylic acid and then transfer it into a clean and dry test tube number 7. Next, we're going to add 6 drops of methanol to test tube 7 and agitate the tube. Then we're going to add 2 drops of sulfuric acid to test tube number 7. And the same as before, we are going to put the test tubes in hot water for 5 minutes, and then we are going to record the scents after placing 20 drops of water in each.